In this reading, we will learn the vocabulary words listed here.
Why a small garden can change your life.
Living in a busy city can feel overwhelming. Many people think that having a garden is only for those who own a house with a big yard. But this idea is not true. I want to show that a small garden, even on a balcony or a tiny patch of land, can bring many benefits to anyone's everyday life. In this essay, I will describe my own experience, explain the reasons why a garden helps both body and mind, and give a short prediction about how more people will start to grow plants in the near future. First of all, a garden gives you a solid reason to get outside every day. When I first decided to plant some herbs on my balcony, I was currently working long hours at an office, and I felt very stressed. I used to spend most of my free time watching a documentary about nature, but I never actually did anything with my own hands. One Saturday morning, I bought a few pots, some soil, and a few seeds. I placed them on the balcony, close to the yard of my apartment building, where the wind is gentle. The first day I watered the plants with a small pump that I borrowed from a neighbor. The water felt cool, and the sound of it dripping was relaxed and calming. At first the seedlings were tiny and looked aged compared to the strong trees I had seen in the documentary. I was a little frightened that they would die, but I learned that plants need only a little care. I did not charge myself with a strict schedule. I simply checked them frequently, about once a day. That routine became a pleasant part of my day. It was not unnecessary to spend time with the plants. The opposite was true. I felt fewer annoying thoughts about work and could think more clearly. The benefit of having a garden is not only mental. Growing my own herbs meant I could use fresh basil, mint, and coriander in my meals. This saved me money, and also gave my cooking a brighter flavor. I could write down simple recipes, and each time I used the herbs, I remembered the small act of caring for them. The fresh smell also made the balcony feel like a tiny piece of the eastern countryside, far away from the creek jungle. Some people think that gardening takes a lot of time, or that you have to be an expert. This is a misconception. You do not need to become a professional gardener. The most important thing is to start small and enjoy the process. For example, you can begin with seeds that need little water and are original in taste, such as chili or lemon balm. The speed of growth can be surprising. Some herbs sprout in just a week. There are also social benefits. Neighbors often stop by to admire the plants, and you can share tips or even borrow a cutting. This creates a sense of community, especially in apartment blocks where people rarely meet. I have noticed that my neighbor, an older lady who lives aged alone, often comes over to help water the plants when she is not drunk from her evening tea. She tells stories about her own garden when she was younger, and these stories make me appreciate the original way. People have lived close to nature for centuries. Looking ahead, I predict that more city dwellers will turn to small gardens. As cities become more crowded, the desire for green space will increase. Local governments may even provide small grants or charge a tiny fee for community garden plots, but these costs will not be unnecessary because the health benefits outweigh the price. Moreover, the trend will necessarily encourage schools to include gardening in their curricula, teaching children to write about their observations and to respect the environment. In conclusion, a small garden can change your life in many ways. It gives you a solid reason to go outside, brings mental calm, saves money, improves your cooking, and builds community. You do not need a huge yard or a professional background. All you need is a little space, a few seeds, and the willingness to try. If you start today, you may find that the simple act of watering a plant can become one of the most rewarding parts of your day. CEFR grammar. Simple present for habits and general truths. Past simple for personal experiences. Present continuous for actions happening now, currently. Modal verbs can, may, must for ability, possibility, and advice. Relative clauses to add extra information. Comparative forms more, less to compare benefits.